Today we'll be taking a little break from Brave Fencer Musashi. Just a little bit, there we go. Just a little bit of, oh, still not getting video. A little bit of a deviation here, because it's just taking a little bit too long to get through that, so gonna do something a little bit shorter today, and we will be going through a classic of mine once I get this going right here, and bada boom. Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. This is a beloved game from my childhood. One of the first games I ever played on Sega Genesis. If I'm not mistaken, one of the first games that ever came out on the Sega Genesis. Actually, this was one of the games that promoted the console, if I am not mistaken. I think this either came before Sonic the Hedgehog or like alongside it. It's been like, well, I'm 30, so 28 years, 1991, so something about that. So, it's been a long time, but this is just a fantastic game. It showcased the graphics and what the Genesis was capable of. It gave you Mickey Mouse, which 1991 was just the cusp of the Disney Renaissance. So this was, I think, right before or while it was coming out, Little Mermaid, and then you had Beauty and the Beast right after that, and Lion King. So this still had that classic whimsy of Disney. And, like, that's what I remember Disney as. I fell off the Disney train, little after Hercules. Like, I loved Hercules. Danny DeVito as Phil was fantastic, and, oh my god, Hades. James Woods, there you go. Oh my god, you cannot, you can't pay for a better villain than James Woods as a Hades. Like, it's sad that, you know, he's got relegated to, ooh, piece of candy, to, like, modern people just watching Family Guy. Like, yeah, I could just go on about Hades and Hercules for hours. And Pain and Panic, Bobcat Goldthwait, and God, I can't remember Pain. So I digress. This is yeah, like this is classic, pure Disney. Like, if you distilled Disney, this is probably what you would get. Like, just listen to that music. Like, the backgrounds are just gorgeous to look at, which, by the way, are scrolling by, in that multiple layered Disney style that they perfected, if, again, I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't have a wiki page up on here, this is just coming off of memory, but I think they did that multi-paneled, movements where you can see the backgrounds kind of just scroll by at different speeds and give you the illusion of 3D. Ah, poopy. Ghost mushrooms. Like, just, it's just so, like, everything in this game is just beautiful to look at. And it's not challenging either. It's a fun game you want to go back and play, and it's made for kids. And, you know, it's a great game to get kids started into platforming and started in gaming. Like, obviously, this is how one of the games that started me in gaming, save, you know, DOS. But, you know, not many people are still going to know how to navigate DOS. Much less, like, know what it is nowadays, because nothing runs on it. So you got some different attacks here, as you saw. Mickey, if you jump and then double jump, you get a butt stomp onto their heads. You get ammo throughout each level. The ammo is based off of the level it's in. Like, this is in the forest, so you have apples. You're throwing apples. Once you get to, you know, more, like, magical stages, you get, like, little orbs you throw. And the last one, I believe it's candles. So they did a good job thinking this through. I mean, a lot of games back in these days, you had to think it through. You had technical limitations, so you couldn't really always focus on just, you know, how well it looked. You had to sell your game other ways. And back then, $50, $60 for a game was a lot. I mean, inflation and all that. So you may be wondering why Mickey is battling an enchanted piece of wood from a tree. Well, the story of this game is the classic damsel in distress, damsel in distress. Jeez, enunciation. My acting professors are gonna hate me. Minnie got kidnapped by the evil witch Mizrabel, which I'm not entirely sure she showed up in any Disney things. I think it was just kind of a knockoff of Maleficent. But she kidnapped Minnie and brought her to the Castle of Illusion. And kidnapped her, wants to trade her beauty with Minnie, or wants to steal Minnie's beauty, make Minnie look ugly. Think Gruntilda in Banjo-Kazooie for semi-modern gamers. Yeah, it's, you know, she wants the beauty of the fairest maiden in the land. Classic Disney trope, yes. But, you know, this is a classic Disney game, so there you go. Be quiet. Be quiet and enjoy it. Stars are health. At the bottom left corner, you have your power. The all-powerful Mickey butt. You can stomp on Jack in the Boxes, and you just gotta wait for them to pop out of the Jack in the Box. That is my preferred method, because where else in a game are you going to fluidly butt stomp like that? Like, Mario has to do this flashy flip and everything, like, oh, look at me, I'm a butt stomping. No, Mickey's just like, go, huh, here's my butt. I like to stock up here. I mean, all these years playing it, I just want to do everything. Because why not? Because all those years of me trying to figure out, like, when I was little, I could do this now! I could do this now! Oh my god! And so I'm just kind of set in my ways. Like, I don't even need these right now. In fact, I don't really need them at all. Like, I never use them. And, like, just how smooth it ran while looking so good, too. Like, this was in strict competition with the NES. Like, there was a little bit of a gap between the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. I mean, not too long, but I think, when I think of Sega Genesis rivaling a system, I don't think of it going against Super Nintendo, I think of it going against the NES. And yeah, the NES games are classic, but yeah, like, comparing them to this, they feel a little, you know, dated, but not to say that they're not fantastic. Like, the music and the atmosphere in them surely make up for the technical limitations of whatever was put on there. For most things, you know, there's always the crap, and if you want to see the crap, then go watch the Angry Video Game Nerd. I'm not gonna play the crap. Well, I might play the crap, because I like the crap. So one day you might see, like, Captain Novolin on Super Nintendo, because that is one of my favorite crappiest crap fests to ever crap. So those pools of Jello at the bottom kind of made me want to have a pool full of Jello as a kid, and thought it would be such a great idea, until, like, I grew up and realized that you wouldn't be able to breathe or swim, and it'll be a lot more crushing than water, and it probably would not be a smart idea to have a pool full of Jello in your backyard. Not to mention, like, the drain costs would be insane. You just get a bunch of people in your backyard, just, hey, come over, eat my pool. This part used to kind of mess with my head when I was little. But it also helped me start to look at, you know, the world a different way. Even if it's just, you know, flipping the level upside down. It was something that I had never seen before. I mean, I was 3, so of course. But, you know, for a developing mind, this was actually a very cool thing to see. Like, to think that you jump and you go up instead of jump and go down. Like, you had to rewire your brain to think that. So, to have that, you know, there, it was a good experience. It was a good learning experience. Just can't help but bounce your head along like a Don Bluth cartoon when you hear this music. It's just so joyous. It just brings a smile to your face, and, you know, that's really, really all I needed today, is just bring a smile to my face. I don't even care if anybody watches this in the long run. Like, I just want to play Mickey Mouse. Like, I work at Babies R Us, I work at Toys R Us, and I have for the past 5 years, so I'm kind of on the cusp of losing my job. So, we're getting rid of everything in the store, so this is just kind of needed right now. Just bring back, just bringing back to my childhood, just putting a smile on my face. This guy used to always piss me off. It's not terribly hard, and it's much easier with a controller that isn't worn, but back in the day when you had a Sega Genesis controller and you were like furiously pressing down on that membrane under the D-pad just so you can stay ducked down, because if you moved your finger even slightly to the left or right, you'd do that. I mean, I'm getting hurt as it is. Like, I'm not doing well either. But yeah, you gotta hide from him, you gotta duck from him. Make sure he's in the corner. Oh shit. Pooh. Yeah, that's not a great example of that. You stay in the corner, you duck down. Yeah, and if you moved, you would uncrouch. The whole point is to duck from that. And it's easy if your controller works right. If it doesn't work right, then you're kinda screwed. Honestly, that's another reason why it was, you know, a good entry game. It taught you about boss tactics. Like, it wasn't threatening, it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to beat Medusa Head. How do I beat Medusa Head? I don't want to have to start at the beginning of the level. Oh my god. Oh, like, they didn't want kids to get frustrated. They're like, okay, there's that. You have to get under that, so you duck. Cool. Like, you didn't need tutorials or anything. You just saw it was there, and boom, you ducked. And you saved it. So now you have red and orange. Naturally, take a wild guess what the next one's going to be. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Yeah, I was trying to count on this hand too, but it was holding onto the controller. So I had to move it here. So you're making the colors of the rainbow, obviously. Go, huh? Let's see what's in this room. Oh my god, I've been singing all day at work, so my voice is kind of worn. Now this, I think, is quite possibly my favorite level. The Storm, as it's called in the remake of this game. It involves much more than just a storm. I always called it, like, I don't know, the ruins or something like that, the temple. Because eventually you get to a temple. But, yeah, just like those colors in the background. Like those purples and reds and yellows and how they come together. It's just gorgeous. Like, this is just a very gorgeous game to look at. The water graphics are fantastic. I mean, they're a little grainy, but okay, I think it is this way I have to go. Oh, crap. Well, crap. Is it? No. It was the first one I had to do. Come on. Oh. Let's just die and start over. It's not going to be a perfect run. I haven't played this game in a while, so still kind of getting used to it. No, I'm not going to go down there and get all that crap again. My score is already good. I don't even need bragging rights for a score. Screw that. Alright. Nah. Yeah, there's one specific spot you have to go down. And I'm just gonna die left and right, aren't I? I still got 3 lives. Man, I used to know it by heart, like, exactly which spot you're supposed to go down. It's not the very first one. God, go away, bats. There it is. No? Maybe I should just nuke this stream and actually practice and then come back and be like, hey, I know this game inside and out. And pull the wool over your eyes. No, I won't do that. I'll own when I'm being terrible at a game, which is like every day. These bats, I'm gonna... They are the worst. Okay, not that one. No, it's not even that one. Because that's way too far. Okay, come on. Move. Oh, thanks. You know, trying to avoid doing that. There we go. Alright. Not there. Thank you. Oh my god. That was ridiculous. Okay. Now we're in the temple. This is my favorite part in the game. I don't know why, just the atmosphere did it for me, like the backgrounds did it for me. Like to see all these waterfalls, like it just gave you a good sense of atmosphere. And like I said, playing a system that had atmosphere to it rather than just a black background or an all like filled in blue background for the sky. It helped with the immersion, and it helped, like, it just helped make the experience of playing not just a game, but a work of art. Like, that's what games back in the day, and certain games today do so well when they do it right, is they're a work of art. Crap! Like, even a game like World of Warcraft. Like, I'm a huge World of Warcraft nerd, so I'll stop myself from getting too, you know, laced up on the tourniquet here. But World of Warcraft, like, it's dated. You could tell it's so obviously dated. So many games have better graphics than it now. But it owns it. It owns what it is. It owns, like, the look and the feel and the atmosphere and everything it is. And that's what makes a game from that's what keeps a game from becoming dated. Like, for me, it's, like, almost impossible to go back and play a lot of stuff on the Nintendo 64. Like, in spite of that being my console, like, the console that came out, like, when I turned 10 and, like, well, 8, actually, and it heralding a new era for 3D graphics, and, like, everything was so new and fresh, and there's so much, like, the world was full of delicious possibilities, to quote Ragtime. It was, like, to go back and play N64 games now, you can tell they're very sandboxy, and call it being scared by the Ben Drown story of Majora's Mask. They feel very haunted and empty and just dead. Like, you can tell there's little life behind all the tricks that they did to get those games looking the way they did. And a lot of old games, you had to do workarounds and tricks to make it look and feel and play how you wanted it to, of course. It's always going to be, you know, a gimmick of coding. You're going to have to do those tricks, and you're going to have to pull the wool over people's eyes and make it smoke and mirrors at certain points. But in recent years, you haven't had to do that just because of the possibilities that you have. Just because of, like, all of the technology that we have now. Back in the day, there wasn't. You had to, use the bushes in Mario as the clouds just to double up on them, and nobody noticed that until until many years later, and it was brought up, at least in my experience. Oh crap, I'm gonna die. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I particularly like this boss. The Gremlin. But yeah, like I was like, this is the Genesis for me is that turning point of the 16-bit era. If this was the turning point, the Super Nintendo obviously perfected it, but this was the turning point for graphics. I mean, I didn't get out to arcades much. We had one arcade at the Cumberland Mall in New Jersey called Challenges. If anybody down the road decides to watch this, and you know, this brings to memory the Challenges, the arcade that was next to Spencer's. Yeah, like, that was the first time I played Afterburner, by the way, and I still love Afterburner. We had the deluxe cabinet at our arcade, and with the copter seat and everything just jostling back and forth. Like, that was too cool for me. And then I found out it was a Sega game, and I was like, holy crap. And then, like, if I ever make enough money, I want one of those in my house. But I also hear that those machines weigh upwards of a ton, and that's not an exaggeration. Like, it's one of the heaviest machines out there, and from some of my arcade friend aficionados, you cannot put that machine on a second floor, or else it will cause the floor to bend. Like, that is, like, an empirical fact. So, enough about Afterburner. This level is the perfection of that panning background and Disney whimsy and everything that I'm just going on about this game. Like, this just makes you, like, just immersed in just a peaceful world of, you know, everything sucks, but everything is going to be alright. Here, have a piece of candy and forget about it. No! Oh my god. And it really makes me want to have one of those wafer cookies, too. Alright. No boss fight on that one. But, we got the green gem. 3 to go. Excuse me. Not burping into the camera. Like that. That's just such a, like, you can tell they put in effort. Like, not just effort, love. Like, it's one thing to be like, hey, we have to make this game, let's make it the best we can. You know, that's effort. Like, no, and then there's just passion. And back in the day, there was no greater passion than games made by Disney. I mean, other than, you know, ones that taught you spelling. But, like, this and Lion King and Aladdin, both versions, but specifically the Genesis version, Like, they're just very passionate games, and you can tell the passion behind them, and the care and love that went into it. And even so far as, like, licensed games, too. Like, back in the day, you think of licensed games now as just, you know, crappy cash-ins. Maybe that one SpongeBob game that everybody loves is maybe an anomaly. But licensed games back then were pretty great. I mean, you had your Total Recalls, of course. You had your Tiger handheld games. But people didn't want to mess up their licenses. And like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as hard as that game is, it's a fantastic game. Like, the original on the NES, not the side-scrolling beat-em-up, which is fantastic as well. Turtles in Time and, like, the original arcades and the NES ones. But, yeah, the platforming Ninja Turtles game, that was fantastic. Like, it was hard as all can be, but man, was it great. Alright, we're done level 4. The library. Wow, we're already up at the castle. Nice. Yeah, like, it's not a terribly long game. We're only, like, 26 minutes into the stream, and if I wasn't completely stupid the first couple levels, it probably would be 20 minutes, and, you know, we'd be done it. It'd be a nice little quickie. So, yep, this is the final world of Mizrabel's castle. Statues come to life and try to kill you, and knights with axes throw stuff at you. Or maces. Boomerang maces, mind you. No, that's not the right one. Down there, there we go. One of these has a bunch of stuff you can get, like power-ups. Which, this is actually a level you're probably going to need power-ups on. Oh, no. Okay, I gotta get up there. You gotta save one of the knights to bounce up on. Just do your little cheap sprite refresh. And wait for him to get over here. Because I think there's some life over there too, if I'm right. Come on, one more time. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Ooh. There we go. There's my reward. So I think I let it slip in this, like, just now. And I think one of my Musashi reviews that I do sing. I like singing. So if anybody does stumble upon this and I actually decide to put up a chat window or figure out how that works from my Twitch stream, and, you know, if I get more than one viewer, then, you know, I'll start, you know, doing requests to, you know, just sing stuff. Because I grew up singing rock music, and the past 10 years I've been doing musicals, so being a Disney fan definitely helped there. Like, I just love music, and, you know, I'll hopefully make that, you know, a career one day, especially with, you know, Toys R Us going out of business. You know, figure, buckle down on making my own stuff. I'm gonna try and keep the language good. It's Disney stuff. There we go. Even though I already let a couple slips, so there you go. There's my PG rating right there. My 90s PG rating. Because even a 90s PG rating, you know, the good son, Macaulay Culkin, dropped the F-bomb. He dropped it once. Oh wait, no, that movie wasn't rated PG. That was like R. But yeah, you could get away with that. Even Nickelodeon had Hell and Damn, and even Salute Your Shorts said pissed off a couple times. Like, they treated kids like they were mature. Alright, I'm surprised I made it through that in one piece, because normally I die at least once. The Indigo Gem. You only need one more and you can save Minnie. Now we're into the sewers of the castle. Or the moat, or whatever it is. Hopefully it's not the sewers. That would be very disgusting. I don't want to be swimming in that. See, I know which ways to go. I'm not completely inept. Why there's a door there, and why no water's rushing furiously into this clock tower is beyond me. But here we are in the clock tower, the final level in Castle of Illusion. Harkening to Castlevania, which I think Castlevania is on the NES had clock towers. I mean, this didn't, you know, it's not original, but God, it's just nice to look at, and that music, like the descending bells, just give it that sense of wonder. And that's really all you can look for and expect out of a Disney game. And this went above and beyond that. Like, you knew what you were getting. It's Mickey Mouse. But you didn't know the experience you were going to get out of it. Ooh. I will take those certainly, because I'm a klutz. I'm surprised I didn't hit a bat. Can I get up here? Oh, there we go. Yes, please. And that was especially frustrating, trying to learn how a treadmill works. There we go. And jump, and up, and up. Guess what? Oh, I was gonna say, guess what? I don't need that health, but... Hello, Klutz here. Ooh. Haha. This is the dodge. Here we go. We fight the giant. Big old giant. So he goes to swipe you, and if you jump while he's not attacking you, he'll swipe you away. And he gets redder and redder as he gets angrier and angrier. There we go. That's how you do it. Whoo! Come on. Swipe at me. Swipe at me, I say. Oh, you're gonna swipe right? Ooh, thank you for swiping right. Come on, swipe left. Swipe left. Everybody swipes left for me. Come on, one more. Get you close. Get you close. And get you gone. Oh, not yet. There you go, get you gone. And now we can make our rainbow. The violet gem. Fifth level complete. Ending at 250,000 is not bad. I don't know why they went up into like the millions and the 10 millions. I don't even know if you can even get that high in this game. Here we are. Following the Rainbow Road. And here we go, boys and girls. The evil witch Miserabelle. Minnie in a bubble. Alright, there's certain spots you can stand that are perfectly fine. She'll teleport around. Just gotta be careful where she's going to. No. Okay, cool. Just down here so you can just stand there, run, jump, cool. Okay, she's there, so when she does that, you can jump in between. Oh, nice. Okay, you can bounce off of those. Actually, I never knew that. In my 30 years of playing this, I never knew you could bounce off the ghosts. That was just a fluke. So normally you want to do that and actually make the jump and then do the butt stomp on her head, because you don't have candles anymore. You're out of candles. I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to try it. Because, yes, I will die. And I actually want to beat this. I don't want to be a loser that can't beat a Mickey Mouse game for Sega Genesis made 30 years ago. Alright, I'm gonna do this one. There we go. That's how you do that. Nah, you can't reach that. Woohoo. A little too close for comfort there. Yeah! There we go. And, boys and girls, and simply put, that is Castle Evolution starring Mickey Mouse. Is it difficult? Maybe for my klutzy self. But you don't play for the difficulty. You play it to put a smile on your face. And some days all you really need is just a smile on your face. Like, see, this is what I think of when I think Disney. Like, I think of castles. Like, the last time I went to Disney World was before the Disney Renaissance started. Like, Little Mermaid just came out, so it was still in that old style of Disney. And this is just, this game, the ending, the castle, everything is just what I remember. Because who doesn't love a bit of Disney? Like, if you say you don't like Disney, I mean, like, business practices aside, and where, you know, what they're doing now, maybe. Like, if Disney doesn't put a smile on your face at some point with something, man, I just don't know if I could live that kind of life. Like, just a world without Disney. Maybe now people would like to see that because they're starting to monopolize, like, everything. But, you know, they have a seal of quality too, and I'll trust, if I see the Disney name on something, I will trust it as a seal of quality. That's just me. I'm old school like that. So this is the ending to Castle Evolution. It's just Mickey and Minnie dancing in the forest. And only not moving any legs. So how they're doing that is, you know, they have to be holding onto each other and just centrifugal force just going around. Or, oh wow, did I just say centrifugal force? Oh, I hope nobody stumbles upon this. Centripetal force. God, I used to be a physics major before going into theater and acting, so... God. Centripetal. Ugh. I hate myself for that one. Yeah. And this was back in the day where games would say special thanks to you. I don't think this one actually did that, but I like that little touch on a lot of these games back in the day. They would be like, and special thanks. You helped this. You brought this to where it was. You enjoyed our game. Thank you. Like, it was like a little handshake at the end of, like, cool. You're great. You played our game. You enjoyed it. You supported us. We'll make more for you. And, you know, that's exactly the boat that I think I'll be in. You know, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Special thanks to you. This is the end of Gamer's Den. And this has been Castle Evolution starring Mickey Mouse. Thank you for joining me for this past 40 minutes. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Remember to be the person that Mr. Rogers knew you could be.